Okay, we're ready for you.
Everyone, it said I was muted.
We're good.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm Shasta. I'm a sales coordinator on our team. And tonight I'm going to share with you guys what I learned when I did a 14-day video challenge back in June with Ray Higdon. This is the second time I've done it, but I actually participated the second time because I was terrified the first time. So I didn't do any of it, but I took a lot of good notes. So anyway, I'm going to be reading off my phone here for all my notes, but this is going to explain to you how to have a good call to action and then also what's called a call to action delay. So whenever you do a live video, you always want to do what's called your pre-live, like your warm-up. So you're going to want to engage with lots of your friends on social media before you start your live. And one thing you don't ever want to do is make a status and say, hey, I'm about to go live here in however many minutes, because that actually will kill your engagement because Facebook doesn't like that. So they want it to be like spontaneous. So you want to be really social with other people. When you do a comment, if you're going to comment on somebody's post, make sure it's at least 5 words or more. So don't just put like an emoji or anything like that. If you do a GIF and a comment, that's even better. And Facebook doesn't like likes as much as they like loves and ha-has. So if you're going to use the little button to love or laugh or any of that, make sure it's a heart or the laughing face. And then you want to do this engagement for about 5 to 6 minutes before you go live, and then do your live. So, and you will notice if you're somebody that does lives a lot and you haven't been pre-engaging and you do pre-engage, you probably will notice a huge increase in the people that are like jumping on your lives or seeing your lives, because Facebook is going to show it to more people that are online right then. So when you start out, you always want to have a good title, because like, when you're sitting there just scrolling and something catches your eye and you stop, you really want to make sure your title is going to stop them and make them want to stop and see what you're talking about. So when you're doing your title, you want to raise curiosity, but also lower resistance. I actually got the little booklet here. I don't know if you guys can see it, that has headlines that's from Ray Higdon. So like, for example, and you can change these, they don't have to be specific like this. Like this says how to blank even if blank, or how to blank while you do something else, blank. And there's tons of titles in this. I could share those with you guys later, like in the Facebook group if you want. And another good way to get titles is when you're in like the grocery store, look at the magazines and see what titles they're using and what catches your eye when you're looking at a magazine. So that's a good way to get a title. And then your second thing is you want to introduce yourself, obviously say, hi, my name is Shasta. And then you want to ask a question. And in that question, you're basically rephrasing your title. So for example, if my title was how to lose 7 pounds without working out. When you start your live, you say, hi, my name is Shasta. And would you like to know how to lose 7 pounds without working out? I know I would, go on and explain maybe how you came across the information. And you can be real. Just say like, I was online, I came across an article, thought you guys would enjoy the tips I learned, so here's a few of them. And then you go into the content and explain the tips. And then when you get to the end of that, what you want to do is your call to action. And it should always be for more information. So you don't want it to be about the product or the company. You could say, I hope you got some value out of that, and I hope this was helpful. So share it if it was helpful for you, and let me know in the comments if it was helpful. And then you could say, by the way, I have 6 more awesome tips. Feel free to message me and I'll send those right out to you. Now, the reason why you want to do that is because you want to get them to message you, and then you can start a conversation. And this is where the CTA delay comes in really great. So say somebody messages you and they're like, yeah, I want those tips. You could say, hey, I'm more than happy to send those to you when I'm back in front of my computer. So if you're at your computer, or whatever, just step back, you know, and be on your phone and answer their message and be like, when I'm back in front of my computer, I'll get those sent over to you. I'm just curious, how is your weight loss journey going? See, and then you've started a conversation and you can carry that on however you would like to. This way, and you, of course, you're still going to send them those tips, but this way you open up a conversation that could lead into product or maybe lead into the company or something like that. And you can really transition any topic and make it about your company or product. And that's actually what I'm going to screen share with you now is a snippet from one of the videos that Ray did during the 14-day challenge when he was doing the training. So I'm going to click share here. And okay. And this one. All right, can you guys see that? Should say 14-day challenge. Okay, all right, cool.
I want you to understand that you can talk about anything and transition to anything, okay? You can. And I've done this many times. In the elite group, I've done it at least 100 times. And so this is something that don't overcomplicate this. Yeah, that was terrible. So I want to help you out with some stuff, okay? I want to help you out with some stuff. So let me give you, I'm going to give you a handful of examples, but then I'm going to give you some universal ways to handle transitions, okay? So let's say that I wanted to talk about health and wellness, but I just got done reading a book about parenting tips. Well, what do I do? Oh my God, my hands are tied. What do I do? Like that, right? So here you go. Hey guys, I just got done reading a fantastic book called 30 Million Words by Dana Susskind. And in this book, they studied the household languages and vocabulary patterns of homes that were underprivileged and homes of the affluent. And what they found is there's an average of 30 million more words spoken over that childhood in the affluent homes versus the underprivileged homes. And so one tip for parents is simply to say more words. Don't just say, no, don't do that. You know, don't pull your sister's hair, right? But talk about, just use more words and it will actually increase their intelligence. If you guys want to check out that book, check it out. This is all true, by the way. If you want to check it out, it's 30 Million Words by Dana Susskind. And by the way, if you are a parent, one of the things you may struggle with is energy. And, you know, I have tried everything under the sun. I mean, at one point in my life, I was at 3 mocha frappuccinos every single day. I was pounding on espresso. I'm like, give me a double shot, bro. And I mean, I'm just pounding caffeine like crazy. If they had it in a syringe, I would have, you know, injected it until I found this amazing drink. And so those of you, if you want way better energy than coffee that lasts a whole lot longer, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to share it with you. But anyway, I hope you got enjoyment from the parenting tips. Rock on, drop me a comment. Feel free to click share, drop hashtag replay if you're catching this on the replay, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay. And Michelle, how do I stop sharing? Oh, never mind. I see it. Okay. Okay. So anyway, that was just an example of transitioning from one thing to a, you know, completely different topic. And I actually just realized what he was just talking about is perfect for the new energy packet thing we have. So anyway, that worked out. What was I going to say here? If you want to see other people's videos from this challenge, everybody was using the hashtag 14-day challenge. I actually did this second time I went through, I got to like day 7 and then I chickened out and just, I don't know, I just quit doing it. So I got halfway through this time. But if you want to check out any of my videos, you can just type my name in on Facebook and then hashtag 14-day challenge. And then if you take my name out, it's going to bring up everybody from all the challenges that have ever been. And he does them like once a quarter. So if it's something you're wanting to do, I think there'll be another one here soon, probably coming up, because the last one was in June. Did you guys have any questions for me? I felt like this would be longer, but I kind of rushed through it. So if you have questions, just unmute yourself.
I have questions.
Yeah.
I missed what the CTA delay was because I was getting long sleeves.
Oh, the CTA delay is, okay, say you, at the end of your video, your call to action would be like, I have 6 more tips. Send me a message if you like those tips and I'll send them right over to you. So if somebody messages you, instead of just sending them the tips, you want to step back and say, step back and say, hey, I'm more than happy to send those tips to you when I'm back in front of my computer. I'm just curious, how's your weight loss journey going? And then you can start a conversation from there, and then obviously send them the tips later on or whenever is a good time. And I mean, you can do that with anything. You don't have to, another thing, you don't have to like come up with stuff. Go to Google, and it's kind of like the health and wellness blueprint, similar when you find information, do that and then do a Facebook Live about it. And then, use the call to action and then do the CTA delay. Cause then you could potentially have hundreds of conversations very easily this way. So, and another thing, make sure when you do your lives, you're making them public. That way, you're reaching a bigger audience and not just your friends list. So.
That's awesome. Yeah, I kind of do that already with the Shred or Juice Plus when people ask me, hey, what's the Shred? They see one of my posts or they comment on a poll or something. I don't ever just give them the information first. I always say, hey, it's been so awesome for me. I'd love to share more about it. I'm curious, like, what are your health goals right now? Or, what are you hoping, to get by adding more nutrition or, just kind of finding their pain point or so the right information to send them.
Right. Yeah. And I like this because I think it's a good way to, like he was saying, you read a parenting book or whatever, you're able to tie it back into the product or business, in a private conversation. So you don't feel like you always have to be sharing, it has to be about Juice Plus or the Shred or whatever. So you have way more ideas and you can open up more conversations. So.
Awesome. Does he say anything about I feel like when you start a live video, I found are you supposed to wait or delay, procrastinate to get more people watching before you start? Because I see people doing that. And then the second question is at the end, I feel like people are repeating give me some loves or hearts or, they kind of repeat themselves a few times. Is that a strategy?
Yeah, he said that. I know the big one was don't ever say drop a 1 if this or drop a 2 if this. Because Facebook wants people to actually be typing out a comment. So that's a big thing. So I think emojis would probably be the same, or are you talking about the hearts, like when people can just heads?
Heart.
Yeah, I'd say that's fine. Yeah, he never really talked about that, but I know giving somebody a command to say something in this specific thing in the comments isn't really, it's kind of frowned upon, I guess. So trying to think if there's.
Is it better for people to message than comment, or because for the extra tips, for the CTA delay?
You can, he said having somebody leave a comment is going to get the most engagement for people to leave a comment. He said, but then you'll actually come across a lot of people that really aren't serious because it's the easiest thing for them to do is, hey, yeah, send me the tips. But if you have somebody, you want them to message you, you get more serious people, messaging you potentially. So.
Cool.
And I just want to piggyback on what Shasta was saying with the actual CTA delay message, because I've been digging into that because I feel like I was going through a period of time where a lot of my follow-up, I wasn't getting a lot of quality feedback. And one of the videos I came across, because when you're in Rank Makers, you get all these back-end videos of previous trainings he's done. You can search per topic. And I was searching this, and one of the things that he said was that which my approach has always been hey, it's so good to hear from you. How's your family? I'd love to know more about, what's going on in your health journey before I send a video. And one thing that he talks about, he was from a psychology perspective, a lot of people they take it as a, what did he call it? being evasive essentially versus like saying like, hey, let me get that video back to you when I get a computer. But I'd love to know, here later this evening, but I'd love to know how your weight loss journey is going. And that way it's not like I literally avoided them giving me, that really made a lot of sense to me. Cause I'm like, how often when they actually message me saying, hey, send me the video, and I don't send it to them right away, like how annoying that could be. So anyways, that was just something that I love about that message. And I just found it in probably maybe the last week. So I'm excited to implement this strategy and use that message. So.
And I was going to say, there's so much more to the videos he does every day for the 14-day challenge, which is way more in depth than like even Rank Makers is. Like Casey's in there, so she kind of knows what I'm talking about. But like, he goes really deep into the psychology and marketing part on the 14-day challenge more than he does in Rank Makers. So I actually went back through and rewatched a lot of the videos from the very first 14-day challenge I did, and I took notes before I started the second one. And just going back through, I couldn't believe how much I had missed the first time, but it's well worth it. And just to say, if you are a Rank Maker, you get like a discount on doing the 14-day challenge. So yeah.
So where do we get that book of the little?
I believe it's just higdengroup.com/shop, maybe. I'll find out for sure.
Is it shop or swag shop?
Maybe it's, swag shop. No, that's right. Yep, that's right. I haven't ordered off there for a while. And I have another thing. Oh, sorry, what?
That was the recording tomorrow. Will you put that in the comments?
Yeah, sure. And another thing I was going to say is having something to hold your phone's really good. So like I have like the ring light here. That's like what's putting the light on my face. And then it holds your phone here too. I don't know if you can see that.
But show us.
Yeah, if I unclip it.
Where'd you get that one? Is that his or
is that? Yeah, it's from Rank Makers. The same.
Got one on Amazon and it like gave me a really bad headache.
Yeah, and that this part that holds the phone is a lot sturdier, I guess, than most. So this is great.
Looks like you're gonna do some dental work with someone.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice tool to have. So I'm not gonna.
Cool. How much are they from him?
This is $40. Yeah, it was $40. So I mean,
yeah, mine was like $8. So it's probably like correct or something.
Yeah. And I don't know if I can snap this back on. So
hey, and I just want to piggyback on what Shasta just trained on, because Rank Makers isn't always open. And so if anybody is interested in doing this in addition to like our team calls, he has it open till when this, like, I know it's coming up. Shasta, do you know?
I honestly haven't been in the group lately. I need to be in there. So I don't know, but we can go and find out real quick.
I think it's either Wednesday or Thursday, but I wasn't sure if it was this week or next week. So they're having like open enrollment right now.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize that they
everything.
What?
The group, what you're talking about is a group on Facebook.
Yeah, but you have to go to rankmakers.com to actually sign up.
And then they add you?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, some people may not have heard of him. Do you guys have any bio on him that you could share real quick, or background for those that are on the call that may not know of?
Yeah, he's a network marketing trainer. Used to be a network marketer, and then got out of that actual business. And I don't really know what business he was in, like what company it was with, but him and his wife, Jessica, actually started Rank Makers because they saw a need for training on how to not be spammy and that kind of thing. So their slogan is the new breed of network marketer. And they really teach on, how to make your profile look and how to share, and get people to message you and what to say. And it's interesting because when I first joined, some stuff he would say, I'm like, oh, I heard this before from my upline, but it sounds different coming from somebody else. So
what?
Yeah,
we're so offended.
Yeah, it really, really helped to me. So, and he does free stuff on his like main page too.
Yeah, I've seen some of that.
But Rank Makers, he goes live every morning and gives an action step, and There's a tracker you can fill out at the end of the week to see how many people did you reach out to, how many people did you follow up with, did you get any new customers, any new team. And if you have like 5 or more of either of those new customers or new team, they actually send you a prize, and they're not benefiting from it. They just, it's like another kind of incentive thing. So it's really cool. I didn't see, somebody said something in the chat.
I think it was me. I'm trying to find my screen. My screen went away.
Oh yeah, Casey said top income earner with 2 companies. Yeah, that's really cool.
So, anyone else have questions? Unmute yourself. Well, how often does he recommend going live?
He would recommend every single day, but he does it he's gone live every day for like the last 10 years. Well, and before there was live, he just made a video every day. And it's up to you. I mean, if you go live every day, you'll
more traction the more you go live, or is it compounding or not?
Yeah, essentially, I mean, it is like, it just is. It's kind of the same thing. And he talks about when you post on your Facebook page as well, if you're going to make a lot of posts, you always want to do that in stories, and then keep your like timeline to maybe 3 posts at most a day. Because when you post something and it doesn't do well, your next post like won't get near as much engagement. So you really want to plan out what you're posting, especially if you're going to do a live. You want to make sure your previous post did pretty well as far as likes and comments and stuff. So me personally, I will share like a picture of the baby because people love babies, you know, and not that I'm trying to use the kids, but it really does.
Puppies, babies, funny things.
Yeah. That way your next post gets even more engagement. So
yeah, that's why I ask a lot of engagement questions. Like, I just posted a funny mom picture, you know, and I'm like, anybody else? And, you know, that doesn't do anything for my business, but it gets people to engage in what I'm doing.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I'd love for you to, when I post the recording on our Team Plant Strong page tomorrow, I would love for you to put a link to the book, a link to the light thing. And then maybe a couple ideas from the book that you think are good ones.
Okay.
For the titles.
All right. I will do that.
Yeah, I think titles are so important. I noticed that even in my emails, I'm more likely to open the ones that are like a question or something that makes me like, what are they talking about? Or I watch a Instagram video because of something they said. And sometimes it pans out where it's really interesting, and sometimes it's kind of like, okay, you know. So, but it did get me to open it and see what they were doing. So really powerful. Well, thank you for the information, and thanks everyone for being on our calls is really getting your tank filled for the week. This is a personal growth business, right, Shasta? It's something you have to invest in yourself. That's why you're investing in Rank Makers. That's why we get on our team calls. We have free trainings. We have YouTube, we have all kinds of resources. But when you're pouring into yourself, you're going to get better. Your business is going to get better. And just tweaking little things like what you shared can make a difference. So that's all I have. We appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks for watching.
Absolutely. Well, I'm going to stop the recording.